The big thing is that it changes very fast. You know, edits that were in 23 and 24 just aren't really what people are watching in 2026, 2027. It's really wild because these trends change so fast. They can change on a dime, and it's important to...
All right, well, Alex, tell me, what was your first impression of my social media presence when we first started working together?
Not to insult you in any way. I'm just kidding. Now I'm going to insult you. No, there wasn't much. And I mean that in a good way. Because what I mean by that is when you can have a blank canvas to work on, we can paint it into whatever we want it to be. And so what I noticed with you was it was inconsistency with the effort. So as long as we could just fix that, I feel like everything else could come into place. That's what I saw. You know, I remember exactly when we talked in December of 2024. I was sitting outside of a central market in Southlake.
Yes.
In Colleyville, Southlake, somewhere in there. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm rushing to this call. But I could tell that this was something that you were very interested in. You know, that was a very big green flag for me.
For
because
sure.
you were passionate about it, you wanted to grow it, and one thing that we talked about before we even started talking was you had a patience to make it work. So
for sure.
Blank canvas with a lot of patience is recipe for success.
Absolutely. I feel like dipping your toes in it is the first step into jumping in full-fledged. Yeah. What have you seen video marketing do for not just my business, but other businesses that you help?
Well, like any business owner, any entrepreneur, anybody who's looking to grow using video, the big thing is that it changes very fast. You know, edits that were in 23 and 24 just aren't really what people are watching in 2026, 2027.
Right.
It's really wild because these trends change so fast. They can change on a dime. It's important to just be on top of those things because you don't want to be putting out content that looks like everybody else's. It's one thing if you're being very consistent over years doing the exact same thing, that works really well too, but you have to build that habit. But you know, if you're looking to create content, I think it's very important to understand who you're posting for and be mindful of that. And I think that's something that a lot of business owners just don't really think about.
For sure. And it gets very quickly into the specific. You're trying to speak to one specific person when is your goal or idea to speak to one person or the masses of people?
It's one person, definitely. If you want to go viral, that's one thing. That's not what I do, and that's not what I think is smart for business owners to do. Because you can get 500,000 views on a video, and it makes you feel good when you sleep at night. You know, I'm a creator. I made good video. But like, if it doesn't move your business, what's the point?
Exactly.
If that's what you're in this for, to build relationships, to build trust, to build a business. And the way to do it is, you know, you talk to one person, you specify their problems, their pain points, their opportunities, because what you want is when someone's watching your content, you want them to relate it to your piece of content in a way where they're like, I feel like he's talking to just me.
For sure.
That's what makes good content good content.
For sure.
That feeling that someone gets of like, man, he gets me. He understands me. He knows what I'm going through. It's like he's in my head.
Right.
You know, that's what you want content to do to the person watching when you're trying to build a business out of this.
I love it. I love it. One more question here. If another business owner asks whether investing in video is worth it, what would you tell them after working with me?
What would I tell them after working with you? If it's worth investing in video for your business and video content and that whole strategy, it is if you're very clear on what the metrics are that you're measuring and if you're willing to stick with that for whatever period of time. You know, the short answer is, you know, obviously everyone needs to be doing video, right? But when it comes to working with me specifically or that person specifically, I mean, there's a lot of people that you have to say no to because things just aren't aligned. You know, one big thing, like I said before, that I give you credit for is you've had the patience to see this work, and we have seen it work. It took time to get there.
For sure.
And it was at a price point that you were willing to pay every month to see it happen. And now we're on the other side of it. So now it's like, cool, let's keep the party going.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't willing to set those parameters, you know, like I was telling you too, a lot of people, you know, expect to see results with their first video. You know, they post their first video, gets 50 views. Now it's my fault.
Yeah.
Now they don't want to work with me anymore.
Totally.
You know, I think it's worth it if you're willing to give it the time that it deserves. And anybody who's in my position that tells you it's really easy, that it's, you know, not complicated, that you're going to see results right away, they're lying. They just want to take your money.
Yeah. And then you're probably going to break that contract and pay them even more money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what a lot of us do. Marketing agencies is we sign you on a year-long contract. You know, we make all these promises to get you to sign. You pay a fat amount up front that's non-refundable, very clearly in the contract. And then after the first month or two of not seeing any results or not seeing any even trajectory of, you know, I've paid $20,000 and I've only seen this. So now you're not going to like the next 10 months. But in order to get out of those 10 months, you have to pay another big fat fee.
Yeah.
So I'm happy because I just made $30,000 off of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Months of work.
Exactly.
It's great.
Exactly.
Client acquisition is my job. as a marketing agency.
Right.
Not
you,
life better.
not you, Alex, but
exactly.
the competition.
Me, the competitor, the big box marketing agency. My job is just to become a client acquisition business, not a client retention or a relationship business.
For
I'm
sure.
way more interested in that.
Absolutely.
Working with less clients, but that they're top quality, they're awesome people. I could be friends with them if I didn't know them through work. That's who I'm looking to work with. And so, to get back to the answer though, it's a worthy investment as long as all the parameters are set and
expectation. I feel like you did an awesome job of setting and always managing expectations for somebody. That just a little bit about my journey into the video marketing. I started off probably 8 or 9 years ago with a thing I did with office buckets, and some people loved it and it was fun, and it was just amateur hour, like take a video, take it directly from there and put it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Then from there, I realized my video content kind of sucks. And so I went with another company where I would shoot it myself and then send it to them to do, it's called a Looney Tunes kind of edit to it. It felt like a Looney Tune vibe kind of edit to it, and then throw it back to me in auto post. The timing of meeting you was perfect because you were right within range of what I was already paying. And it was accountability, which I needed. Every month I've got the expectation to have a meeting with you. To plan out what is expected or what videos we're going to do for the next month.
And how the last month went, how the next month is going to go. And maybe there's been a couple months where I don't send it right on the first, but it's usually right on the first. You get a text from me that is, hey, here's your meeting link. Here's your shoot link. Let's sync up to make sure everything's good. And
and that accountability piece is what helped make the money more worth it. And make, like I think I've told you, most of the time when I'm behind a camera, I kind of just black out, and a lot of times I don't even look at what you've edited. You said it sounded great, or you tell me to reshoot it and I say something else and I'm blacked out, and you said it sounded good, so go for it.
Good. I guess it's good. Whatever.
Exactly. So and then I'll watch it just before posting just to make sure, and so I can come up with the caption. But it's different clients of yours obviously have different needs. Where are you finding that entrepreneurs they are investing the right time and they're investing into content, like they're putting a lot out there? One of the biggest compliments I've gotten since hiring you is your videos look so professional. What can you tell me about putting out more professional content? Why is it working with the right videographer, the right move?
With the it looks professional comment, I think that's one thing that immediately will make anybody stand out who hasn't been creating video content, or maybe has and it's been like amateur hours. It's gonna look so much better to start. However, you also just can't be putting out 100% cinematography style videos. You mix in family, you mix in sports, you mix in things that are, that
make you a human
and make you attractive to your niche. People that know you, people that know of you, people that relate to things that you relate to, right? And so, so it's not all just like sitting here educating. You're throwing in skits, you're throwing in this, you're throwing in education, you're throwing in baseball, you're throwing in sports, you're throwing in family. So you're a well-rounded individual that people can trust. And so, when it comes to like the professional, how, camera quality, lighting, sound, all that kind of stuff, immediately that's going to bring in a strong reaction from anybody, because it's pleasing to look at.
Exactly, aesthetically pleasing.
Up here, not in frame, or like it's blurry or whatever. So that immediately is going to step it up and get you views, at least get it out there more. The platforms are going to love it because people are staying there watching you, so they're going to push your content out to more people.
For sure.
And then you work on the storytelling and speaking, with more conviction, and how to properly tell a story, and how to grasp attention and hold on to. You learn all that too, just with the habit of sitting down. So you mix that with the tech. Then it becomes awesome.
I totally agree. Last question, off the cusp. How do you see AI? Do you view AI as a tool to help, or do you view it as competition in your industry?
So I absolutely do not see it as competition.
Okay.
And of course, I think about it and
you utilize
I'm
it.
excited about it. I'm not worried about it, I guess is the right way to say it. I think it's a good thing. I think it's awesome. You know, on the more cinematic side of things, you can use special effects in movies and TV shows and things like that, that you still need artists there, you know, leading the charge, but it saves so much time.
For
to
sure.
get something done. As a business owner, it's helped me a lot on process and speeding things up in terms of like research and analyzing data and, you know, figuring out what next steps should be, both with my own marketing plan and the marketing plans for my clients. So it helps me a lot there. With the editing, it's not quite there yet. It's really not. I use it in some cases for sure, especially, you know, when it comes to like quick videos with simple captions, things like that. It's great. But to just like farm out to an AI editor, it's just still not there yet, and we cannot tell. What I do believe about AI though, when it comes to video creation, is I don't think it's a flex to say, oh, I let AI take care of everything for me with content creation. An aspect of content creation, you know, that can never be replaced is the human who's talking. The relationship that needs to get built with the person in front of the camera, meaning you, the business owner. Like no AI will ever be able to replace you. You can have your avatar there with like a fake script that you just send through, you know, through Zapier to edit it and post it for you on social. And yeah, you can brag that it only takes you, you know, an hour a month of maintenance to maintain. I don't see that as bragging. I see that as kind of pathetic, because you're sacrificing your humanity. You're sacrificing your opportunity to relate to people and to talk to them and, you know, to interact with them. You're sacrificing all that to just buy you a few more hours a month. It just doesn't seem worth it to me.
There's also a risk that people will start liking the AI you better.
Yeah, they see you on the Zoom call and you're like, well, you're a little rougher. You don't sound the same, right? It's weird. It's off. Something's off. 100%. They like the fake you. They don't like the real you. Like the flex for me is, even with the professional cameras or the iPhone, is like, I want the person who we're putting out in front of people to be the exact same person that shows up for meetings, for the discovery calls. You know, like me, I like to wear hats backwards. I've heard this comment on discovery calls where when I show up on a discovery call, it's like, oh yeah, you're the guy with the hat. Like it's cool that you're wearing the same hat that you wore in the video. Like, AI is not going to replace that. You know, if you love Savannah Bananas, you have connections there. It's something that you care about. So when people see that and then they meet you in person and you're wearing a banana polo, like it's legit. Like the same guy. You don't show up in a suit and tie and they're just like, wait, where's the fun Andy? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird, right? And so there's that aspect of the human touch that AI is never going to replace. And what I do see is that we're already seeing an over-reliance of AI on creativity. So now it's refreshing to see real creative, real mess ups, real errors, not the best lighting, you know, unscripted, off the cuff, in your car, just like, I just got out of this meeting and da-da-da. Like, that's the kind of content that's really taken off right now, because I believe it's real, it's raw,
genuine.
It's not touched by AI, touched by machine. It's actually me talking to you. That's why I'm not worried about AI. Of course, we all have to adapt in some way, but I'm not worried about it. And I think the videographers and the marketing agencies that are worried about it are just losers and, you know, need to adapt.
Exactly.
And understand where you have a competitive edge where AI...
Exactly. I totally agree. I totally agree. Well, this was fun.
Cool. This is great. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.